Hi, how are y'all tonight? So, my name is Sharisa with Sharisa's Country Corner. We're going to start off our first recipe here by making homemade chicken Alfredo with homemade pasta. So, what I'm going to start off with first is how to cut up the chicken, or what I do, and I just kind of cook it in a skillet and what have you. Get you down here. So I'm sure a lot of you have seen the method where people use the fork to pull out the little vein here. So it's fairly easy. You just take your fork, stick it in here, and you just pull it right on out. Makes it super, super easy. I always like to trim my chicken really, really well. My husband's kind of picky. And I'm kind of picky. I don't like these little membrane skins. And so I kind of just shave it off. Put it right there. And then I just cut up my chicken. And I've got a skillet over here. I'm just putting it in my skillet. So when I get done cooking, I'll put all this information, the recipe that I use, I'm going to put it in the description, and so that y'all have it. I kind of use a few different recipes that I find and kind of make my own. I've always been one that has measured with the heart and not with the measuring spoons. So that might be a little challenge sometimes. So you see how I'm having trouble gripping that? What I do is I'll grab a paper towel, and that'll give me a little more grip to it so I can pull it out. And there you go. I'll trim off any of these other little veinies or any of that kind of stuff you see. I kind of like my chicken a little smaller, so it's a little more bite size. You can also, when you're doing it, if you kind of give it a little head start there, sometimes that makes it a little easier to pull through. There we go. So I'm going to do some of my recipes on here, some that I've found online, and I'll credit whoever they are. But I also want to do like some crafts and everything. And then also, if there's a recipe that you want to see me do, let me know, and we'll definitely make it up. I do a lot of baking. Baking is one of my favorite things to do. My husband, when he goes to work, I usually send him with some kind of cookies or something like that. Most of his folks really like me at work. So that little membrane there, those things can kind of get in your way. Go ahead and cut that big piece off. I normally just buy the chicken breast tenders, and then sometimes I'll just buy the chicken breast and make my own little tenders out of them. Oh, there's two more. I thought I had one. All right. While we're doing it, we'll just go ahead and pull this one too. Okay. So definitely tell me what kind of recipes y'all would like to see me cook, things that y'all would like to see me do. And I would be excited and happy to do it. I love cooking. My mama and my daddy were surprised because I grew up, I was the one that would burn the pan. I could burn water. I couldn't cook to save my life. Didn't know how to make tea or nothing. And then one day I decided, well, I gotta eat. So if I gotta eat, that means I want to like what I'm eating. So I just started finding recipes and things that look good and trying it, and here we are. So now that I have all this cut up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash my hands, and I will meet you right back at the stove. All right, so here we are. We're back at the stove. I use a little bit of olive oil to put in my chicken to keep it from about 2 tablespoons. Like I said, measure with the heart. I do a little of Italian seasoning. Sometimes you gotta flip that little lid and give us a little bit there. And then a little salt. And a little pepper. Then I turn it on about medium-high heat. Kind of just mix it in here, and all we're gonna do is cook up our chicken. So while this is cooking, we're gonna get get everything together for making the homemade pasta. So while that's cooking, I'll get right back to you. All right, so we're back here. We're going to start with our pasta. And so in this bowl here, I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I have 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I have a teaspoon of salt. I have 2 tablespoons of water, which you're only going to go with a teaspoon at a time. And then 3 room temperature eggs. Sorry about that. I needed my teaspoon. Okay. So what we're going to do first is you're going to take and combine your olive oil, your salt, eggs. Make sure I caught that shell. Okay. Two. 3. And then we're going to start with like 1 teaspoon of water. And then we will use our hands, and we're just going to get in there. Just get in there and mix it up. So our chicken is still cooking. mixing. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for our pasta to be kind of on the, not like dry side, but not like wet side either. So we'll kind of see whenever we get in here looking. Got those doughy hands. Just keep mixing. Mix it real good. Okay. Let me go get this cleaned off my hands, and we'll come back and we'll start working the dough on the counter. We'll be kneading it on the counter. Be right back. All right, so we're back. What we're going to do is we're going to spread just a little bit of flour, lightly floured on the surface here. We're going to take our dough, plop it right here, scrape out what we can, and then we're going to knead this for 10 minutes. Just to knead it, you're just going to knead it like you would a bread. This weekend, I'm going to try to make I'm going to make some homemade bread for you. Spread your dough back, your flour back out there. And then once you knead it for 10 minutes, you're going to put it in a bowl and you're going to let it rest for like 5 to 10 minutes. You can feel it starting to get sticky. Just spread your flour back out. So my big thing here on this channel is that we're going to be doing this stuff on a budget. So I do, if you need a little more flour, just kind of sprinkle some. I do not have a pasta machine, like a pasta cutter machine, like where they roll it out and all that good stuff. So I'm going to show you how. All I use is a rolling pin and a pizza cutter. And then you can cut it into strips to make your fettuccine to go with our chicken Alfredo. So you probably don't want to sit here and watch me knead for 10 minutes. So I'm going to finish this and then I'll meet you back. So after, I'll knead it for the 10 minutes and then I'll rest it for the 5 minutes. And then we'll come back and I'll show you how to roll it out and cut it up and get it ready to cook. All right, I'll see y'all in a minute. All right, we're back here with our pasta bowl. It has rested for about 10 minutes, between 5 and 10 minutes. So then all you're going to do is you're going to take it and cut this into like eighths. So I do 4. And then I do each one of these again. And if you don't have one of these, a knife works just fine. So I'm going to take and I'm going to roll these into a ball. Set them over here to the side. They don't have to be completely equal. It don't matter. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. And 8. All right. So when you are doing the pasta, you know, you're not going to be able, or maybe you can, but I can't. I'm not ever fast enough to get it all done at one time. So I'm going to take me a drying rack, or my cookie cooling rack, and I'm just going to use that. So I take and sprinkle just a little bit of flour because we're not using a pasta machine. I'm going to take it, put a little bit of flour on my rolling pin, and I'm just going to roll. And then just roll. And roll. And roll. So this dough is great for making like ravioli. If you have like a ravioli cutter or anything like that, just kind of make it as thin as you want. That looks about good. If you like your fettuccine a little longer, you can keep rolling it. That's about the size that I like mine. So what I'm going to do to make it a little easier, I'm going to fold it. I'm going to fold it. And I'm going to fold it again. Let me turn it this way. Okay. They don't have to be perfect. So I'm going to take and use my pizza cutter. Cut that little piece off. So now then, you have a fettuccine noodle. And I'm going to just lay it up there. And just keep cutting. Or if you don't have a if you don't want to use a pizza roller, use a pastry cutter. So I'm saving those in pieces because then we'll use those in just a second. Woo, almost lost him. So we're going to do this with all 8 balls. So, and while, I'll do another one. So in this dough, it's only going to take about 4 to 6 minutes to cook. Just kind of depends on how you like it. It doesn't take as long as noodles that you would buy in the store. It's easy. You don't have the preservatives. That's my favorite thing about it, is you don't have the preservatives. You can lay them on top of each other. It don't matter. Just kind of roll them, unroll them. And if you don't have to roll them up as much as I did, it takes a little longer to unfold them the way I did it, but you don't have to do it that much. And if one happens to break, you know what? It's just one you don't have to cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set these off to the side. I'm going to go ahead and roll out one more for you so you can kind of see. Make sure we have our thing there. Just going to roll. Roll. You can flip it. You don't have to. But the point is you do want to turn it. If it gets a little sticky. Okay. So if you wanted to just fold it in half twice, you can. Again, we're going to save that edge. These are probably a little easier and a little faster to unroll. And then when we get done, we'll take all these edges, we'll fold them together, roll it out, and make us another ball. All right, I will keep working on this, and when I get this done, I'll see you back. All right, I'm back. So I'm getting my water boiling. Here I'm going to melt my butter. So this is for my Alfredo. This is for the pasta. I've just got the heat turned up on high there. I'm going to melt my butter. Let me turn it to a different burner there because this has got two burners. So in our Alfredo, what we have is you're going to have about 2 cups of shredded Parmesan. You're going to have 1.5 cups of heavy whipping cream. You're going to have 2 tablespoons of garlic. You're going to have, and I have it all together, you're going to have a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. You're going to have half a teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. So I have all those together there. Get us a whisk here. So all I'm doing right now is and a stick of butter, half a cup of butter or a stick of butter. And I used salted. We're going to put salt in there, so I just use salted butter. So as you can see, our chicken is done. So the main thing here is once your butter gets melted, then you're going to add your garlic, and then you're going to add your seasonings, and you're going to whisk it all together, heat it up really good, add your cream, and once your cream starts to boil, then you're going to add your cheese. So I'm just melting this butter real quick. And you can see, so I've got all of our pasta noodles here. So they're good, ready to go. Like I said earlier, they'll take about 4 to 6 minutes to cook. Butter is almost melted. A bowl here for our pasta for when it gets done. Our thing there, thing here. Oh, butter is almost done. There we go. So now we're going to add our garlic. I love garlic. Let's get in there. Get it good and going. Go ahead and add our salt, our pepper, and our Italian. Let's get all in there good. Let that garlic get good and aromatic, and when you can smell that garlic, then you know you're ready to put your heavy cream in. Water's getting to boiling. So I always turn this on like medium-high heat. Pull this over a little closer so you can actually see. So I was telling you, they said that this pasta is good for like ravioli. So you can use the ravioli. You would just roll it flat. You would add your filling inside of it, fold it over, and then you could use your pizza cutter to cut. You can get a ravioli cutter. You can even do like fun shapes for, you know, kids or whatever. All right, so we're starting to boil. You can smell the garlic. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour in our 1.5 cups of heavy cream. Pour it all in there real good. Get all that yummy goodness. Whisk it all together. Our water for our pasta is almost done. Almost coming to a boil. So we're just going to kind of stir this, let it get nice and warm. And so you're going to see how whenever I pick up my spoon or my thing, it just completely drips off. So you're going to know that you are ready to add the cheese once you can dip your whisk or a spoon, and I'll show you with a spoon as well. Once you whisk, once you pick it up and you see that it's thicker and it's harder to come off the spoon. So we're going to let this cook. Chicken. All right. So with our water boiling, we're going to take our pastas. We're going to just drop them in there. I'm trying to separate it because they'll kind of stick together. So I usually do it in about 2, maybe 3 batches. Okay, we're going to let that cook in there for a second. So let's watch our Alfredo sauce here. It's getting a little thicker, but not quite there. Turn our pasta down just a little bit. We don't want it to boil over. And for those of you that are kind of new to cooking or don't really know, you can take a wooden spoon If your pasta starts boiling over, you can do this with any kind of pasta, store-bought pasta, regular pasta. If you put a wooden spoon over the top, it'll keep it from boiling over. We're getting a little thicker. Turn that down just a little bit because it likes to boil up. So I kind of lift it a little bit. Sorry about that. My alarm went off, so I have to come back in here. So what I do is I lift this up a little bit, kind of keep it from getting too thick. It's that cream in there. Still dripping pretty good. You see that pasta kind of puffing up there. Looking good. So if you look at it from the spoon, see how it's getting kind of thicker? And it's kind of slowing down, running off that spoon. A little bit more. It's slowing down. I use a lot of dishes. So this is one of my husband's favorite meals. My husband and my kid, they love Alfredo. And again, you're using, pretty fresh ingredients. I mean, the only thing is really store-bought would be the cream, the heavy cream. So you don't have the preservatives, which is really good. All right, let's test this out again. It's getting thicker on that spoon. Maybe just another couple of minutes. Pasta's almost done. Just a second. Test it out. Yep, that's it. That's good. So then you can just take it out. You can use your tongs. Sometimes it works well. Sometimes it doesn't. Oop. Let me go back to this so we don't burn. All right, I think we are pretty good. Nice and coated. Then you're gonna take your cheese. You're gonna pour it in. I use the whole thing. And then you're just gonna mix it in, let it all melt. Maybe brush this pasta out here. So this is real life right here, so it's kind of a little thick. So what I'm gonna do, just add just a tiny bit more. A little more cream it up a little bit. Yeah. All right, let's get the rest of these out. Get the rest of those cooking. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish cooking my pasta and get it ready to eat. And I will see y'all back in just a minute. All right, so here we go. Here is the Alfredo with chicken, a little dash of Parmesan cheese on top. It is ready to go. So thank you guys. I really appreciate y'all coming in and cooking with me and spending time with me. And if you decide something that you want us to try here, we can try it. Let me know. Send me a message. You can put it in the comments and we'll make whatever you want to make. Thanks, guys, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.